Hey, this is DonnieRockett bringing you a video from the Pittsburgh International Race Complex. I haven't put together a video in a little while, so this is, I'm back on the horse, I guess you could say. We're starting out. I'm letting everybody get in front of me because I've got a GoPro on, and my brother and my son are in this heat. Also, there appears to be, looking at the score sheet, there's a couple of F4 drivers in here and maybe an F2000 series driver right here, or in this heat. We were at the track, and while we were karting, they were starting off a weekend of racing there at their approximately 4 mile road course that they have there besides the go-kart track. So we were getting a bunch of the race car drivers coming over to come out and race the go-karts, since it was, they weren't really racing that day. It was kind of a maybe test and tune, get set up style day for them. So anyways, there's my son right there. One of our goals is to pass this cat in the jumpsuits right here. He was ready to race, apparently. My son lost it a little bit right there, and that guy kind of ran me out on the corner, or the curve, so he didn't really, I guess he just didn't know it was out there. So I got to reel him back in. But basically I let everybody get in front of me, so I'm dead last at the start of this. So I think I get by this guy right now. He doesn't come over on me this time around, so it works out for me. But, obviously my goal was to pass all of these cats, since I'm pretty sure that some of them are race car drivers, and it's always nice to beat some race car drivers. It was starting to rain just a little bit. You can see one or two specks pop up on my GoPro. If you got out of the groove a couple times, I noticed I started to slide a little bit, so I had to be a little bit careful. This might have been one of the corners right here where I slid way out. Yeah, almost went off the track right there. So I started babying it through that little part of the course right there. But I think I have about 5 people to go. This guy right here, and then there's a group of 4 up in front of him. And what's funny is I'm pretty sure that all of these guys did not know who I was and thought I was one of their other friends. Although I have my own helmet on. It's just kind of hard. They make you wear a jacket. You have to wear that red neck brace. So everybody looks about the same out on the track. So he kind of pinched me right there a little bit, but I was still able to get my speed back up and get around this guy. So I've got 4 guys left. As you can see, they're pretty far up in front of me. But I have clear sailing as well. And I think they were sometimes screwing around a little bit with going back and forth. If they would pass one of the guys and really start to gap them, whoever was in the front will kind of ease off just a little bit to get them back to racing. But I think once I start catching up with them, they start changing that. And they decide that they don't want me to catch them. Couple turns. This track is a lot of fun. I've been here one other time about a year ago, and it's got a lot of turns, but I'm starting to remember it fairly well right now. But there's 2 big turns that are somewhat blind because they're downhill, and so you don't really get to look at them and think about them. Like right here's a right-hander coming up, but you can't really see it until you get right on it. A lot of people blow that corner because they just hit it going way too fast. But as you can see, I'm catching up to the back end of the 3. One guy is kind of stretched it out in the front. Let me see. Some of these guys' names that are the F4 guys. One guy is Ricco, Shlaimoun. And then there's an Oliver Clarke. They're both like younger dudes. They're probably anywhere from like 14 to 17 range. They were, but, they've got some nice race cars sitting out there. I've looked them up online, and they are well sponsored, it looks like. There's another guy out there. He wasn't in this heat, but he was he was racing, and his time showed up on there. Nico Cristodolo. He's I think he's an F2000 driver. But I think I just blew past one of them, so now I've got 3 left. But this guy right here in front of me, he he became swerving Mervin once I got up next to him. So you'll see a couple times once I get next to him, he just, I don't know if he's looking around and loses his line or if he's purposefully coming over on me. I really didn't care too much. But, you know, you'll see what happens as we progress. So I think he's about to pinch me up here. And I have to tone the volume down. Now, see, I think he thinks I'm one of his friends. That's why I can't tell for sure, but I'm not one of his friends. I don't know this cat, but I'm trying to put him behind me. As we approach this corner up here, I will turn the volume down because I let a few expletives pop out of my mouth. He probably didn't really realize that I was catching up to him right there, so I didn't hold it against him that much. But it ended up, you know, knocking my momentum back down, so I'm stretched out a little bit. And we're probably hitting about halfway on the race, and I'm wanting to catch all of these guys if I can catch them all. I like the karts. One thing is you can see my feet are staggered. When they move your pedals closer or farther away, they don't really move them. They just change their angle. So, in reality, I could have that left one, the left one is almost angled back at me, so I have to actually hold my leg away instead of being able to rest my foot out there. I've got to hold it back. So it was a little bit of a pain in the butt. So, you know, next time you can actually, next time I would actually have them put my brake pedal further away and keep my fuel pedal where it is, but right now they're both about the same. So he doesn't understand the draft, and then I come around, then he comes over on me, so he slows me down again a little bit right there. And I don't know which race car guy this was, but it was one of them. Pretty much everybody except me and my brother and my son were all kind of in a group. And there you go, homie. Around he went. And I didn't feel bad about it because he'd come over on me a couple of times. I was wondering if he was going to get fired up about it and give me the business in the pits, but everything was cool. But again, I got out of the groove right there and kind of hit what was just a teeny weeny bit damp. So I'm down to 2 karts. I let them gap me up a little bit by screwing that corner up, but they're racing pretty hard and they're trying to make a pass up here. Homeboy in the front just totally loses it and he just cuts that whole portion of the track off. I laugh at him. The other guy right here has lost some momentum from all that, so I'm zooming up on him. Now the other guy, like I said, he just cut the track, so he is way ahead of us, but he does slow down up here to wait for his buddy to come back up to him. And this dude right here was pretty small. He was like probably about a little over 100 pounds. But I was closing in on him here. Then I think he might have just eased up just a tad because that was his buddy, but then he ducks under, so that was the guy that cut the track. He's back with us. So I'm closing on this guy. I think he wants to race with his buddy, so I'm pretty sure, like up here, coming around to the next turn, he waves me by, but then they get together and then they try to run me back down. I'm staying on him pretty good for him being a tad lighter than me. I'm about 190 right now. Yeah, so I'm closing on him anyways, but he kind of waves me by a little bit right here and lets me get under him. But he gets right back into it with his buddy. But I don't think he realizes we are on what's going to be the last lap, so we're coming around to the checker, I think, on this lap. Maybe it's the next lap, I'm not sure. But we're getting close to the end, and I'm watching for him because I know he's pretty light. Okay, this isn't the last lap. This is the second to the last lap. Once they throw the checker, you still almost get a whole entire lap to go before you have to pull off into the pits. So everybody keeps racing past the checker flag. No, wait, that is the checker, so that was the end of it right there. But those two are probably drafting, and they are definitely closing up on me, if I remember correctly. But at this stage, I'm in front of everybody. So I was kind of happy about that. I was kind of surprised I was able to catch everybody because he did have a pretty good gap on me. So he ducked under me there, and then he crossed under me right here, which kind of took my line away, but I don't know, he kind of jerked it around or screwed it up right there. So now I've got more momentum than him, and we're coming up on this dude. Split him, and I'm back in the lead. But as we come down here, he will get right on my bumper and try to give me the old go-kart push right off the end of the track. But I knew it was coming, so I kind of steered into it. And, you know, it slowed down my momentum, but it still screwed him up too. Actually, one of these guys, Oliver Clarke, he's been a champ or won quite a lot of races over in Europe and Great Britain. So smoking that dude wasn't, you know, it was kind of fun. That was it. Whoever the heck that last guy was that tried to spin me out in the corner starts popping me in the, right there, he runs into me, then he runs into me again down here. I think he thought, again, it was one of his friends because he came around and said something to me using the wrong name, but I don't have it on video. So anyways, that's the end of that race. The end of the day, I did have the fastest lap time, I believe, so it was a good day for me on the go-kart track. Adios.